Hello and welcome to day 2 of my 8-day of Christmas series, where I will be posting a video a day with Christmas related content leading up to Christmas. So today we have sustainable wrapping. Now there are a lot of different ways that you can be sustainable in your wrapping. My first piece of advice would be to reuse or use up any of the materials that you have already, so you don't have to go out and buy more. So if you have any wrapping paper from previous years, if you saved wrapping paper, if you have received any presents so far and you want to repackage those boxes or use the bows or anything like that, that is a great way to be sustainable in your wrapping. So I know a lot of wrapping paper is not recyclable, like this kind of wrapping paper that has the shininess to it. You're not able to recycle that. There are other alternatives to wrapping your gift, such as cutting up a paper bag and using that to wrap your gift. That way you can basically create your own wrapping paper. So every single present that I've wrapped this year, I have wrapped it in brown wrapping paper. I've also used the inner tubes of wrapping paper. When you get down to the end of it, sometimes they are just like really stiff paper. This one is a actual tube, but I have used the inner tubes of wrapping paper, and then I just went ahead and taped my presents and then stamped them with some holiday stamps, different colors. It just makes it feel a little bit more personalized and that you have put some thought into the wrapping of the present. Another alternative is to use some newspaper. I like to go for the comic section because it is more colorful, and I mean, hey, who doesn't love a good laugh? You can also wrap presents in fabric, any scrap fabric you have. Better yet, use a scarf, and that could be part of the present as well, or a dish towel, and wrap a jar that has a baking kit in it, and there's your gift. And then lastly, decorating using nature. Mother Nature provides a lot of nice decorations already. So here is some dried eucalyptus, and then these are some dried oranges that my sister made in the oven. You just cut up the oranges and put them in the oven at 200 degrees for a couple hours, and they become nice and crisp and make a perfect decoration on your present. Another thing that I did this year is make my own stuffing or paper fillers for my presents. So these are just shredded paper bags from grocery shopping that we didn't need. So I usually shred the paper bags for my compost bin, but I figured that it would be a great stuffing in presents. And then I also, this is shredded wrapping paper, so it makes it look really pretty when it's in a present. It makes it look really fun. And what I will do is use this for heavier items and this for lighter items, and then I also, like for the heavy items, I will put this at the bottom and then top it with some pretty shredded wrapping paper. Here I am bagging up one of the presents, actually one of the DIYs for a friend. One thing I forgot to mention is using reusable bags. So this is a reusable bag that I got, it's a 2-pack from TJ Maxx, and it was only $1.50 for both of them. I went ahead and added the shredded wrapping paper at the bottom of the bag, and then I put the presents inside. After filming this, I realized that the jar was a little bit too heavy. I did go back and put some brown paper at the bottom and then topped it with the shredded wrapping paper. And it's a good way to have absolutely no waste when you are wrapping presents. So if you do accidentally rip your wrapping paper or make your wrapping paper too small or too big, you can go ahead and shred it and use it inside the present. Here I'm showing how I decorated my presents. I have some Christmas stamps that I got from thrift stores over the years. I have this one Santa that says to and from, and then just some snowflakes, a snowman, some Christmas sayings, and then I used blue ink and just stamped it onto the box. I would suggest to stamp before wrapping the paper, so go ahead and like cut the paper and make creases in the where the sides of the box are, and then go ahead and stamp, because it is very hard to stamp on top of the box. You don't want to crush it and ruin the appeal of the box. And the last thing I want to show is how to make yourself a bow with some extra wrapping paper. So I had this smaller piece of plaid wrapping paper that I went ahead and cut a very thin strip. It's just 1 square wide, and then I just eyeballed the length of the strips. So I had 4 long strips, 2 an inch shorter, 1 a little bit shorter than the rest, and then a very, very small one for the center of the bow. I then took the ends of the strip and met them together in the middle and taped them down, and so you want the sides to be poofy and the middle to be a little bit more flat. And then once those are all done, I went ahead and positioned the strips to how I liked the look of them. I alternated between red and green, and then I went ahead and hot glued the middle of them together with the small piece at the center, and then I hot glued that onto the present. And there's your makeshift bow. Another way to reuse the rest of small pieces of wrapping paper that you have. Those are my sustainable wrapping tips and tricks. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow in day 3 of 8 Days of Christmas. Bye.